You know, sometimes kids say the funniest things. And I mean funny, I don't just mean amusing, I mean thought-provoking and stimulating, especially when you're having a conversation with them and you're trying to explain something to them. I had this experience this week when I was talking to some of the school kids about this week's gospel reading and about the Transfiguration. I started out by telling them, the most apparent meaning of this passage, that it comes hot right after Jesus, the first time Jesus says to his disciples that he's going to have to suffer and be crucified at the hands of the authorities in Jerusalem. And Peter says, oh no, we're not going to let that happen, Lord. And hearkening back to something we heard in last week's reading, Jesus turns to Peter and says, get behind me, Satan. You're thinking like man and not God. And I went on to say that well, in the most apparent sense, Jesus was revealed to them, and God spoke to them to reassure them of who he was, and that they should listen to him and do what he says. And so I asked them, I said, so tell me, what do you think is going on up there on top of the mountain? And sure enough, this one fellow put his hand right away, and I said, tell me, Joe, what's going on? And Joe said, well, it's pretty easy, Deacon Bob. It's kind of like in that movie Mission Impossible. Jesus is pulling the mask off and showing them who he really is. Now, I bit my lip to avoid laughing out loud at that. And I said, well, Joe, it's not exactly like that. See, Jesus wasn't wearing a mask. Jesus' humanity wasn't a mask. He was human and divine. But he was like us in every way, just without sin. I said, so he wasn't taking a mask off. Jesus' humanity wasn't a robe he could take off or a mask he could remove. It was who he was. And then it dawned on me to continue to use a movie analogy that they would understand. And I said to him, you know what was really going on top of the mountain? I said the disciples were kind of getting a preview of what heaven was like. And they were really excited about this. They said, what do you mean a preview of what heaven is like? I said, well, they saw Jesus in all his glory, of course. And they saw people that they knew from the Bible were probably in heaven already. Elijah and Moses talking to him. That they were all together. And they heard God speaking to them. They heard it in their ears, but of course God was speaking to them probably in their hearts too, like he speaks to all of us. And the kids really dug on that. It was an interesting moment for me because it was thought-provoking, and I thought about a different way that today's gospel reading speaks to us. I mean, of course, God is telling us, this is my son. Listen to him. He's inviting all of us to listen to Jesus, just like he's explained to the apostles to do the same. But just like I told that young fellow, the vision that they experienced on the mountain that morning was not any mask being removed. It was a reality they were all experiencing because they went up there with Jesus, close to him, to spend time in prayer. And by the power of the Holy Spirit, all of them experienced this amazing vision that went on before them. Everything Jesus did while he was on earth was made possible by the power of the Holy Spirit. Like I said, he was fully human like we are. His divinity was not a switch he turned on and off and said, oh gee, I need to multiply some loaves, divinity on. I need to heal this person, divinity on. It was always by the power of the Holy Spirit that these things came to be. The same Spirit that dwells in each of us by virtue of our baptism. You know, the theologian N.T. Wright talks about the Holy Spirit at great length in one of the books he wrote. And he talks about each of us, the Spirit dwelling in each of us really makes each of us kind of like the temple in Jerusalem that walks around. The Jews believe that God dwelled in the temple in Jerusalem. And through God's grace, by the power of the Holy Spirit, he dwells in each of us. So all of us are a place where heaven intersects earth. All of us, N.T. Wright continues, experience a little glimpse of heaven from time to time. Through the way we can commune with God. Through the way, if we're open to it, he can speak to us in our lives and offer us his encouragement and guidance. And see the ways that he operates in the world around us and in us and through us. We're all like a little preview of heaven. Or we're supposed to be. It's walking around. The challenge is to open ourselves up completely so that we can hear his voice, like the apostles did. You might not hear it moving in your ear like that, but so you can hear it in your heart, maybe in your mind. The writer and mystic and monk Thomas Merton wrote about the Holy Spirit dwelling in each of us. He likened it to a fire, a light that was burning deep inside each of us, way down at the base of our being. And that the challenge of our lives, of our journey of faith, was to get through the layers of consciousness of our own wants and desires that are above that we think about and how we live and experience each day, and get through that so that we can come into accord with the Spirit that dwells in each of us so that we can hear his voice better. That's what we're doing during Lent especially, right? I mean, it's the journey of our lives of faith, but it's what goes on now during Lent. Where through the traditional disciplines of prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, we try and turn our focus more to God. To that little light that's burning inside each of us. So that we can hear his voice like the apostles did on the mountainside. So that we can see his glory in the world around us. So that we can see that light in other people. You know, there are many ways to do it, though. You don't have to necessarily just stick to those disciplines, right? Lent is about turning our minds to God. You might choose to do some spiritual reading instead. You might go to an extra mass during the week, or maybe some adoration services that are being held in church nearby. You might even decide to take part in this year's Alpha program, where seemingly ordinary things like getting together and having dinner and watching a movie and talking about what it means, what it talks about and what that means in our lives, can be ways of turning our minds to God. Whatever we do, it's all about getting in touch with the Spirit in us, the Spirit that unites us with the Father and with Jesus. You know, you ever seen what happens when you drop a rock into a pond? What happens? Somebody tell me. Ripples. Ripples go forth, right? Each of us, like N.T. Wright says, is the intersection of heaven and earth. We're supposed to be a preview of heaven. Not only for ourselves, but for everyone around us. So this Lent, let's ask the Lord to come into our heart in a particular way. To help us make the ripples of his love emanate from our being, so that we can be the preview of heaven that he has created in each of us.